Welcome to Learning and Manual Testing. So today we are going to learn about the very important topic in SDLC. So there is nothing but agile process. So what I mean to agile? So the dictionary meaning for agile is nothing but moving in a smarter way or effective way. So in many organizations we have learned the things, right? As many people are using agile methodology only. So it is very important when we're dealing with the SDLC process. So let me remove this definition. So what I mean to agile? Okay, we know this agile is nothing but moving in an effective way. So we can achieve the goals in a shorter way. So come to the SDLC part. What I mean agile is nothing but here we are closely interacting with customers, because if you closely interact with customers, obviously we know what their exact needs, which focus on what they exact needs. So come to agile process. This is a basic example of agile. So agile we have different types and in different methodologies. So agile methodologies or agile types we have. The first one is Scrum, Scrum methodology. The second one is Kanban. Methodology and etc. We have many things here, but many people use Scrum only. Maximum 85% organization will use Scrum as agile. So today we are going to deal with the only Scrum methodology. So to implement agile process, we should require tools, right? So we have different management tools in agile. The first management tool is many people will use, and what we heard is nothing but Jira. The second management tool is Rally. So these are the three basic management tools we have in agile process. Okay, and we have another one is TFS. So Jira is nothing but open source tool. So we can get that means when we dealing with Jira management tool, it's quite cheaper when compared to Rally. Value owned by CA Technologies. And come to the TFS. TFS is nothing but Team Foundation Server. It is owned by Microsoft. So these are the basic information about the tools what we're using in Agile and what the types you have Agile in Agile. Okay, now try to explain in a diagrammatic manner how the Agile model will look like using Scrum methodology. Let me write all the things point to point here. So dealing with right now we are dealing with Scrum methodology. So when we see in iterative model, right? If you just remember or recall the previous topics, in iterative methodology, we have breaking the bigger modules into smaller modules. So let's take an example. Again, I will take a big project. It contains n number of iterations. The foundation for agile methodology is nothing but we are using a iterative model. Later it has gone for few updates. Just an example, this is iterative model, or it is my project, it is my product. This product contains how many 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15. Let's consider my product contains 15 iterations. So I'm just dealing with the iterative model and comparing iterative model to the agile model. So here we contains 15 iterations. Let's consider each iteration will take 2 weeks to complete. I just take an example. So total 2 weeks, nothing but it is my iteration time or iteration period. 2 weeks. So total time period will be to complete my scrum or to complete my all iteration will be 15 into 2, right? That means it will go for 30 weeks. So like that we'll have when comparing when we dealing with iterative model, as per the example I have 15 iterations. In 15 iteration, my each iteration will take 2 weeks, so my iteration period will be 2 week. My iteration period will be to complete one iteration period will be 2 weeks. So and my total period to complete my iteration will be 30 weeks. So that means 15 iterations into 2 weeks, so that will go for 30 weeks. Come to when we dealing with agile process, right? So these iterations will call it as sprints. Please try to remember the terms here. So whatever I'm showing that iteration period, right? This will cut as sprint duration. So what are the in iterations? Let's take each iteration will contains another example. Each iteration will contains let's take 3 modules. So which means 3 modules are 3 requirements. Okay. So my total requirements or module will be 15 into 3. Obvious, I'll have 45 modules. So whatever I consider it as iteration, right? Iteration or more iteration having modules, right? Those module will call it as user stories. So these are the few terminologies we need to understand when we're comparing with the agile and iterative model. So right now I'm going to remove these things. I contain 15 iterations. My sprint duration is 2 weeks. It is converting into agile process. Sprint duration is 2 weeks. Total sprints. Iteration will correct sprints only, right? So my total sprints will be 15, and my sprint duration is 2 weeks. And whatever considering the requirement will correct the user stories, right? Each sprint will have how many? Three user stories, right? 3 user stories. So total user stories will be 45 user stories. 45. So like that, I converted all the terms in iterative model to our agile process. So try to remember this one. So let me highlight and keep aside. Let me highlight this. These are the information about my product. Okay. I'll keep here. Oh, sorry. Let me draw the diagram. Let me select it and drag and paste here. So this is the information about my sprint. Okay. Now I must this product, right? Let me erase this. Whatever the items we have, whatever the iterations or whatever requirements we have in this product contains n number of iterations, and that is here we have 15 iterations, and each iteration will have 3 user stories. The total user stories will be 45. I'm just recalling. So whatever that product will contain, all the user stories will call it as, we know it is a product, right? So this is nothing but product. I'll call it as product. It's like information, right? Backlog, which is nothing but product backlog is nothing but what is the product backlog? Product backlog contains all the user stories in the Scrum methodology. In the sprints, how many sprints we have? All the user stories will be stored in a product backlog, which means that your product backlog is contains all the user stories which are used for all the sprints. Okay, in one term I can explain like product backlog like this. So there should be a owner, there should be a corresponding ownership for the product backlog, right? Then owner will be, that owner will be the owner for the product backlog, will call it as, we call it as let me give you here product owner. Who is nothing but what do you mean a product owner? So product owner, I'll give the importance of product owner, or else what I will do, I will mark in a different color, so it will be very easier for you to understand. Okay, product owner, what are the roles and responsibilities of a product owner? Sometimes he can be a client, or he or she can be a client which deals with the what they need, right? He or she can be client. Okay, and the second point is, he is a person or she is a person who handles the user stories. Okay, who handles the user stories in that sprints, and also the person who decides what user story I need to consider for the sprint. Let's consider I'm doing for sprint 5 and nothing but iteration 5. In sprint 5 I can consider, I need to consider 3 user stories, right? As per our example. So I need to consider what user story I need to take for the sprint 5. So nothing but priority of the user stories, what sprint has to take which user stories. So in those type of information will be uh, provided by the product owner. So person who prioritize the user stories for the sprint, and as well as whatever we see in the sprint duration, right? So that sprint duration, let's take an example in real world. In real world, uh, let's, my sprint one contains my sprint one will take 2 weeks, and sprint two will take 3 weeks, my sprint four will contain 4 weeks. Not like that. If you decide the sprint duration as 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 1 week or 4 weeks, that will be constant for the all the sprints. That sprint duration can't be changed. The sprint duration is always constant. As per our sprint duration is 2 weeks, right? So the 2 weeks will be the common for the all the 15 sprints. So that decision will be taken by the product owner only. Sprint duration, okay, decides the sprint duration. So this is nothing but information about the product owner or roles of product owner in agile. Okay, and let me again keep in a box information of every person will be kept in one. So let's take an example. I need to start my sprint. So let's see, we'll go into the sprint, implementation sprint, all the things. So I'm trying to implement my sprint. I'm going to take one iteration here and try to implement my sprint here. Okay, let me try some draw a neat diagram. Okay, let me go like this. Oh, sorry. So here I'm going to start my sprint, right? So I'm starting my sprint. My sprint started here. My sprint one. Oh, sorry. Sprint one. Sprint. Okay. My sprint one has been, my sprint started. So I've taken that this sprint and I'm implementing this sprint. So this sprint will contain different user stories. Obviously, we have, as per our example, we should have the 3 user stories, right? So I'm going to write the user stories name. User story. Let's take check. I'm just giving the name, not like that. User story 341 and user story 456. Something like I have 3 user story in my sprint. So now, what is this sprint? Sprint is nothing but it contains few user stories which are implemented for the current sprint. This sprint will call it as, sorry, this sprint will call it as, sprint backlog. What is the difference between sprint backlog and product backlog? Okay, many people will ask. Sprint backlog contains user stories which are implemented for my current sprint. What are the user stories I'm taking here, right? For my current sprint, that sprint will call it as sprint backlog. But what do you mean by product backlog? Product backlog is nothing but it contains all the sprint user stories. It contains all the sprints and their corresponding user stories. Product backlog will contains all the user stories which are implemented for the all the sprint. But whereas sprint backlog contains user stories which are implemented for the current sprint. This is the difference between product backlog and sprint backlog. Okay. Now, this is a difference between sprint backlog and product backlog. Right now I need to take my team, sprint team, or okay, this product backlog owned by the product owner, but here also sprint backlog should have one owner. That owner will call it as, many people will call it as sprint owner, not sprint owner. Okay, I'll tell you the owner name. That owner name is Scrum Master. What are the roles and responsibility of a Scrum Master? Okay, Scrum Master. So person, okay, diagram. Person who manages system, just like a manager, but he's not a manager. There won't be any manager in agile process. The person who manages team, which team? Nothing but Scrum team. So Scrum team will contains both developers and QA. So this word QA has been born in agile process, not in anywhere. We call testing team as QA in agile process. Now everyone is using QA only, but the QA term is derived from agile process. Okay, called QA is to quality analyst. Okay, sometimes quality assurance team will call it as something like, many people will call it as QA in different terms. Okay, now person who manages team. Okay, now the second one is okay, protector for his team. Sometimes cannot be technical person, can't be a technical person, can't be a technical person. And removes miscommunication between teams and schedules calls between teams. So these are the few roles and responsibilities of a Scrum Master. Okay, very important. He is a person, less like he is a manager, but don't call him as a manager. So he's the person who manages his team. Okay, so this is the roles and responsibility of a Scrum Master. Right now I've taken the definition of agile. Later I move to how Scrum methodology is implementing right now. What is the product backlog? What is the definition of product backlog? What is the sprint backlog? How the sprint backlog will looks like, and what is the roles of product owner, and what is the roles of a Scrum Master? And basically I taken three examples. Okay, which I'm taking product backlog where it contains 15 sprints, each sprint the duration, and as well as the total time period to complete that sprints as well. Each sprint how many user stories will contain, and total how many user stories we have. It is not like that every sprint will have only 3 user stories. Some sprints will have 10, 15, 20 user stories also. Some sprints will have 2 or 3 user stories also. It's depending upon the complexity of the user story. So we'll come to know what is the complexity of a user story and further discussion right now. So these are the user stories. The user stories are check 3, 4, 1 and 4, 5, 6 are the user stories. Let's imagine how I'm taking my Scrum team. Okay, so this is my Scrum team. It contains both Obvious. Developers and few members, right? So I'm taking developers here, developers, and QA. And let's take an example. Developers names. The first name is John. Developers point of view, and in QA, I take an example from not that. Okay, and David. The third one will be Bhanu, and QA. Sorry, QA will have. Sorry, we write in bold, and so font size is very low, right? 14. Just go for 14. Okay, 14 looks like good. Uh, goes. Okay, and let's have another developer here. His name is Satish, and developer name will be Ing, and developer's name will be Roy Smith. Just take an example only. I'm taking my Scream team. It contains developers and QA members. So let me keep in a box so that you can easily understand. So this is my Scrum team. So we have 4 developers and 4 PM members. We're taking just example only. So now let's take our sprints, our user stories, what we have seen here, right? So first one is user story check, and second user story is 341, and the third user story is 456. So these are user stories. So there should be a owner for every user story, right? Obvious, we should have an owner for the every user story. So who will be the owner for the user stories? Let's take an example. Who can be the owner? Okay, this is my first user story. Then my second user story. Oh, it's too long. Make it in a short so that we can use the space for other things. Who will be the owners? Okay, many people will call owners for you. Who will be the owners? Okay, there is a question many people will get. Who will be the ownership for the user stories? We see the things here. Let me select and drag it here. Okay, who can be the owners? Any guess? Is it product owner? Is it Scrum Master? You see the product owner, he's the person who only cares about the user stories, what user story we need to take, not about the technical knowledge of the user stories. So now come to Scrum Master, he cannot be technical person, right? Oh, sorry, I didn't write the technical here, right? Sorry, technical. Sorry, right here only. So he is a person, he is not a technical. Oh, sorry. So he is not, can be a technical person. Who is the technical person? Obvious, developers are the technical person, right? So the default owner for the user storage in Agile will be the developers, not the Scrum Master, not the product owner. So who are going to take user stories, who are going to write the coding part, who are going to implement that coding, right? That person will consider it as the owner for the user stories. So obvious, the owner will user story will be the developers only. So I'm just assigning the developers to the user story. So let's take the developers for Satish will be assigned to here, assigned here. and just like Bhavana will be assigned here, and Roy will be assigned here. So just like it is a big user story, Roy and as well as who left, John left, right? Roy and John will work on this user story. So on seeing the user story, another thing I just forgot here. So on seeing the user story, how can I know this is a big user story, a small user story, or a complex user story? So nothing but something we have written here, right? In the roles and responsibilities, schedules called meetings between the team. So in Scrum methodology, we have different phases. Let me start the phases. What are the phases we have in Scrum methodology? Phases in Scrum. Okay. The first phase will be the sprint planning. The second one is sorry mistakes. The sprint planning or okay. Sorry. First one we have product backlog, right? Product backlog. The second is sprint planning or sprint backlog. Okay. Product backlog. The third one will be the Scrum meetings. The fourth one will be uh, demos, or something we'll call it as review meetings. The last one, very important. The last one will be retrospective meetings. So these are the different phases in Scrum methodology. Let me highlight here also. Okay. So now we know the product backlog, right? Just I will mark what are the things we have completed here. This we know the button of product backlog. So let me mark here. Oh, sorry. So what I will do, I will underline. Okay. Just I will mark. Right. We know the bottom of the sprint backlog, correct? Or sprint planning, right? Now we'll go for the bottom of sprint planning. So I will start sprint planning here only, where I can start here. I will start here. Sprint planning. The second phase is nothing but let me change the color. Second phase is sprint planning. What is sprint planning? So once the user stories are taken by the provided by the product owner, we'll take the user stories and try to understand what user needs by seeing the user stories. So this is a meeting which is scheduled by the Scrum Master to discuss about our sprint planning. Now tell me, what is sprint duration? What is sprint duration? I've written here, right? This is 2 weeks. My sprint one sprint to anything. My sprint will take 2 weeks to complete. This is not but how many days? Not 14 days, 2 weeks, but we have 10 days. Okay, we won't go to the office on Saturdays and days. So obviously we have 10 days to our sprint to complete. So as for sprint duration, this sprint planning will start in day one. It starts on day one only. Okay, and okay, no problem. So now try to implement what is sprint planning. Okay, in day one, when all the user stories will be taken by the developers, they will try to explain what is meant to user stories. What let's take Bon is explain what is meant to user story 3 for 1, how to check user stories, how we have taken that development part, and how much time it will take, and what is the complex we have, what are the phases we have, something like they have give the information about the user story 3 for 1 by Bano. Whenever all the people, whenever in the sprint planning, it is a meeting only. Whenever Bano explains all the information about the user story 341, every member in the Scrum team will try to understand exactly what I mean by user story 341. So everyone came to know, yes, after explanation of the Bano, whenever Bano explains about user story 341, every people will know, yes, yes, okay, this is the way we need to implement the user story, right? So whenever Banu completes its information, the Scrum Master is the person who manages his team, right? In sprint planning only, the Scrum Master will ask the team to give the points. Okay, the team has to give the points. That point will call it as, just like whenever we see a movie, right? So we need to rate the movie, right? Everyone will not go for 9 or 10 or 8, right? It's depending upon the mentality of the people. So like that, whenever I understand about the user stories, depending upon the user story, I'll give the points, how complex is about the user story. So if a thought as a developer point of view, if a thought is a high, it is big complex, or more, it contains highest complex to complete the user story, I will rate it as higher points. So something like how we have rate our movies, something like we need to rate this user story. So for rating purpose, we have what we call it as points, right? That points will call it as user points. So what are the user points? Okay, use story point or user points will call it as, anything will be same only. Okay. What are the user points? Nothing but are story points. Use user story points. User story points. Okay. So what is the well, you have normal points 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, right? So not like that. We have that sequential story points for every organization. Many people use different methodologies for the points only. So right now we are using one methodology. That methodology will call it as 1 2 3 5 8 and 30. If you see here, this is a Fibonacci series, right? These user points will call it as, okay, this user points will call it as poker card. Okay, poker card points. So I will write these are nothing but poker card points. Okay, so for poker card points we have 1 2 3 5 8 13. 13 is nothing but that the user story is very much complex. When it's coming with one, it's least complex. So depending upon the explanation of the developer about the user story, we need to give these points. So now marking this one user points. So let's consider about this user story 341. So I just given I will take an example of user stories and user points. I will remove the things later. Oh, it's complicated. So whenever Bhanu explained about the user story 341, Scrum Master will ask the team to entire team give the points. So when one person has to give their points, let's consider John has given 3. Sorry, there is no 4, right? 3. Bhanu has given 3, and Satish has given 5, and Roy has given 3. So David has given 5, and Gauss has given 3, and 34. Eng has given 3, and Smith has given 3. So if you see here, these points are regarding to the user story 341. Like for the user story, this one team has given the points, right? So depending upon, if you see here, there is a conflict. Conflict happens for Satish and David because they have given 5 points, but whereas other teams given 3 only. Then Scrum Master will ask these two people, Satish and David, why you are going for 5? Because many people will consider it as a three point user story point, but why you are going for 5? Let's take an example. Satish is explaining that whenever Banu explains the things, right, I think it's pretty much it contains many uh, lines of codes to write that application. It will go for more than 500 or 600 lines. That's why I thought it is a bit complex. That's why I'm giving for 5. Whenever Satish completed his justification, Scrum Master will ask the QA member and David, why you are going for 5? So David explained why he has given the 5 as a user story points to that user story. So David explained like that. So whenever Bhavan explained about the user story, I thought it contains more than 10 pages or 20 pages. So for checking the 10 to 20 pages will be much complex. So that's why going for 5, because as a QA point of view, checking 10 pages will be very complex. Something like he's given the justification about why he has go for 5. So whenever these two people has given the justification about the user story points, then Scrum Master will ask Banu, could you please justify whether these two reasons are valid or not? Then Banu will take about these points, these conditions, and try to explain about try to explain to Satish. Satish, yes, what explain that I need to write more than 500 lines of code. I do agree, but when I try to write 100 lines, so I can reuse those 100 lines and try to complete the 500 lines. So it is very easy for me, because writing first 100 lines is very complex. Whenever I complete my first 100 lines, I can reuse the code and I can complete those 500 lines within short period of time. Something like she can give the justification about the Satish, and come to David part. Yes, he will explain to David, because David told that it contains 10 pages, right? I do agree with it. It contains 10 pages, but if you see the 10 pages contents, the contents doesn't have any much updates. Only feels good, feeling good will have the update. So you should not feel any complex when you try to validating 10 pages. So this is my justification. Banu will be provided. So whenever the Banu is completed his justification, then again Scrum Master will ask to Satish and David. So could you please let me know whether whatever the Banu explained is valid or not? Then Satish will tell yes. Whatever the Banu explained is valid reason only, so I can go for 3. So again David will also tell yes. As per the Banu's comment, yes, we have 10 pages, but content in the 10 pages is very low. That's why I can go for 3. So everyone will come and go. The user story points for this 341 will be 3 only. Year 1 is going for 3. So now this user story points will be updated by Satish as 3 and David as 3. So everyone is in same platform where they can go for the user points for this user story will be 3. So like that, Satish also explained about user story check to entire team, and entire team will give few points. Depending upon the points, everyone is given for 3 only. Just take an example. So it is these a bit complex user story, because 2 people are working, right? So let's take that complexity as 8. So like that, every team member will try to analyze, try to discuss about the all the user stories, and try to come up with the user points for the user stories, which has been done in sprint planning only. Okay, not anywhere. We have done this all those things activities in sprint planning only. Okay, now I'll write what are the things we have discussed in sprint planning, what are things we have done in sprint planning. So discussion regarding user stories, assigning resources to user stories, and assigning user points to user stories. So last one, it will discuss next point, next phase, nothing but allocating asks to each resources. So I do agree. You doesn't understand what is the last point. I will explain whenever I complete the Scrum meetings. So these are the things we'll discuss in sprint planning. Let me keep in a box. So this is not sprint planning, and how much time it will take to complete the sprint planning. This is another interview point of view question. So how much time it will take means, so whenever we start in day 1, right, we will discuss about all the stories and try to complete this sprint planning within 3 hours. So this is the agile manifesto, where we need to complete everything as per the agile process. So in day 1, when we start the sprint planning, we need to complete this in within 3 hours. So this is nothing but sprint planning. The second phase is the third phase is, so sprint planning has been done, right? The third phase is starting the Scrum meetings. What are Scrum meetings? Okay. The third point will be, okay, as of now I didn't assign the QA team to, right? Yeah, right. So like to add QA team or try to assign user stories here online. So whenever the developer is assigned to the user stories, the corresponding queue members also assigned here. Okay. Let's take queue member, any queue member. Let's play Eng. Eng will be assigned here. Those will be assigned here. QA team only, not anyone. And David with the remaining one Smith. So these are the people who are assigned to the these corresponding user stories. The ownership will be the only developers only. So only the QA team will be assigned to the corresponding user stories. Okay. So the third one will be, what is my third one? Third one is, third phase is Scrum meetings. What is Scrum meeting? So now try to explain what about the Scrum meeting here. Scrum meeting, what is the things we'll do in Scrum meeting? Scrum meeting will take much time. Okay, I will tell you time, duration, all the things. So whenever we start our work, okay, that work has to be monitored, right? So we need to work for the sprint for 10 days because our sprint duration is 2 weeks, right? So I need to work for 10 days. So in day one, how much percent you have done, and day two, how much percent you have done, and day three, how much percent you have done. So all these things will be done in Scrum meetings. So in general, Scrum meeting will call it as daily stand-up calls. Both will be the same. We'll consider the same only. Okay. In Scrum methodology, in Scrum meetings, so daily status of the teams, daily status of the team will be discussed, and also updating the hours allocated for the team. So these are the generic things we'll do in daily stand-up calls or Scrum meeting. Nothing but let's take an example. Whenever my Scrum meeting starts on day 2, it starts on day 2, not on day 1, because day 1 we have sprint planning, right? So it will starts on day 2, and only within given day 2, within 15 minutes I need to complete the Scrum meeting status. Okay, not taking 3 or 4 hours, right? So just let's take example. Kiran, could you please update your status? Means I can explain like that. Yesterday I have whenever I had done that coding part, right, the 20% of the coding part has been done. So from this yesterday to today's part, I have done more than 40% of the coding. So remaining will be completed on further coming days. Something like I need to give the information about the uh, information about my status of work. So status of work will be discussed here. Not more than 10 seconds or 15 or 20 seconds, we need to complete our status to explain what we have done today and what is the planning on tomorrow. Something like we need to give the information about the work execution or progress status. So if you see here, something like updating hours, right? So what is the hours? So you here allocating hours in second phase also. I will try to explain what are the hours we're dealing in from meetings. Let me highlight here also. Okay, good. We have space here to utilize. Okay. So as per my team, so I have team, big team, which contains like this. I have team. So how many members are in there? 1, 2, 3, 8 members, right? So for an example, customer or client has given 8 hours to work per day. Per day, I need to work 8 hours, right? So I need to show 8 hours work per the day for my entire sprint, which means how many days I need to work here in sprint? I need to work 10 days, right? So per day we are giving 8 hours and I need to work for 10 days. So how many hours I need to consume for that sprint? Every resource has to consume 80 hours. 8 into 10 days, that's what 80 hours. So every resource will get 80 hours of work for a particular sprint. So it has been done in initial phase only, in sprint planning only, allocating hours to each phase. So something like at the each stage only, the Scrum Master will allocate 80 hours of work for the sprint for the each resources. So total hours will be 80, 80, 80, 80, 80, 80, 80, 80. Or 8, right? 8, 8 are 64 and 0, 640. So total team will get how many hours? Total team will get 640 hours. So when I consider in day one, we don't have any work, right? We have done the work, but in day two only, we need to show, yes, yesterday we have done 8 hours of work, because in day two, we didn't complete day two, right? So whenever day two starts, I need to show that 8 hours work has been done on yesterday and day one. So let's take here, it is in hours calculation, and it is in days calculation. Okay, so try to give names here, and day one, and day two, day three, day four, day five, day six, day seven, day 8, day 9, day 10. Like that we have 10 days for the sprint, right? So like that we have total, how many hours we have? Total we have 640 hours, right? 640 hours. So diagrammatically how it looks like means, it's taken for everyone, for Gauss. Let's go for Gauss. I'll going for Gauss condition. So Gauss has been allocated 80 hours. Okay, so initially how it looks like, Gauss will 80 hours means estimated time, planned time, oh, okay, no problem, plan, to do, and done. See here, initially he has given how many hours? 8 hours, right? I erase it. Initially how much given? He has given 80 hours of work. So in day one, okay, in day one, 8 hours given. The planned also, sorry, the, sorry, the planned also 80. Then to do also will be 80, because in day one he doesn't do any work. Whenever you go to, then is 0. Whenever you go to day two, obvious planned is 80 only. Estimated and planned will be always, these two are constant. So whenever you go to day two, he has to show that 8 hours has been work. So he has done 8 hours of work. The pending is 8 hours. The pending is 72. So it is nothing but it is in day one. It is in day two. Okay, like that we have. Like that we have when we go for day 10. Day 10 it is 80 constant. This is also history, right? So to do will be, when we are going to day 2, to do will be 8, then will be 72, because day 10 has not done, right? So it is in day 10. So like that everyone has to update their hours, okay, in daily basis. So like that, if you see, for only for Gauss we have like this type of conditions. So everyone will have the same type of conditions, okay. So per day they need to show, that means they need to burn 8 hours of work until and unless all my sprint work completed. So in day 11 nothing but my next sprint will start, obvious it will go for 80 and it will go for 0. Okay, as per yesterday okay, in day one, right? Day one, how much hours we have shown here? For everyone has allocated 80 hours, right? So in day one, obvious, we'll have the one on chart. Sorry, the 1 hour, the pending hours will be 640. So whenever I move to day two, it should be always less than 640. The calculation will be how much you can expect? 640. I don't know how much it is. 640 minus 64, because every resource is burning 8 hours, right? In day to every person is showing 8 hours of work, right? 8 hours of work for 8 people. 8 is 64, right? That 64 has to be decreased here. Same like in day 3, it will be uh, 640 minus 128. Like that, it keep on decreasing, right? Let me erase the things. This chart will keep on decreasing the values. Okay. And in day 4 again it will have decrease. In day 5 again we have decrease. Day 6 again we have decrease. Day 7 again we have decrease. In day 8 again we have decrease. And day 9 again we have decrease. Okay. And day 10 we have decrease. Okay, we have the values. Could you please guess what is the day 10 left hours? Is nothing but 64 only, because if you see the to do will be 8, right? 8 is 64. Again we'll have 64 here. 64 hours left. 64 hours of work will be left. This is nothing but for every resource you have 8 hours left. So 8 is 64. So like that, we have this chart which contains the values of which contains hours of the entire team. Let me do like this. That will very good. So it is nothing but linear only, but I'm just minding here. Okay. No, it will work. Sorry. Okay. So like that, we have the calculations for on every basis, on day basis. So whenever I come to the day 2, right, I need to update our allocate hours, and I need to do my work. So like that, we need to do the things. So this chart, which is nothing but showing the team efforts, burning efforts, we'll call it as. That's why this chart will call it as very important burn-down chart. We are burning our hours, right? Burn-down chart. So this is nothing but the burn-down chart. And take an example for one employee or one resource in the QA team. So these are third phase. The fourth one is demos. Okay, the fourth page is demos. May again keep in a document in a clear box for ease and answer purpose. Okay. Do you have any phase here? No, right. I can use this. The fourth page is demos or review meetings. Demos are demonstrations. Okay, what mean demonstrations? Means, so in order to know the demonstration, first of all we have to know the status of the user story. So let's take an example of any user story. Let's take user story 456. User story 456. So it contains the default status, right? The status will looks like how the status for every user story will look like. Under every user story, we have these 4 status. Okay, those status names are nothing but first is D, the second one is P, the third one is C. The first one is, the last one is A. So these are the status. Okay. Let's see status. So whenever I see the user story, DPCA will show what is the current state of the user story. So if it is in D phase, I will write what my DPCA. Right? D stands for designing phase. P stands for planning phase. C stands for completed phase. Okay. Move here top. A stands for accepted phase. So D stands for design phase, right? So whenever this sprint, this user story explained by the Roy and John. Sorry, there's spelling mistake here. So whenever this user story explained by Roy and John, so developer has to take the user story, right? So whenever they are doing the development part, they will mark into D. They will click here. These are the small buttons which are appearing in for every user story, DPCA. They will click on the D part. Whenever D part has been clicked, which is nothing but they are designing the user story. Whenever they have completed the user story, they will click on P. Please on planning. Planning is nothing but okay. I will write here small parts definitions. Okay, nothing but developer doing the work. In planning, QA team is to start testing the application. Whenever they test the application, they need to, okay, it will default go default and developer update. I'll tell what are the things. Okay. So spelling mistake, right? Updated. So whenever they click, the developer click on the D part, which means that they are doing the work on the user story 456. Whenever they had completed their work, so I just have a question: how many hours will left for whenever the developer's work completes their work for the 456 user story? Obviously, it will have 160 hours. Why? Because for the user story, whatever user story we have here, right? It contains 80, 80, 80, 80. It's nothing but it contains 320 hours for the user story. For this 456 user story, we have 320 hours. Nothing but whenever developer completes his work, nothing but 80, 80 hours has been burned. So the remaining 80, 80 hours are left. Nothing but 160 hours are left for the user story 456 whenever developer completes his work. Whenever he completes his work, he will click on the P. Whenever it is on P status, the QA team needs to start testing that user story with the remaining 160 hours by David and Smith. So whenever QA members also completed their hours, whenever they burn their hours, whenever they burn 160 hours, is nothing but this user story has been checked thoroughly by the QA team, right? So nothing but whenever these hours become zero, whenever you use the story, try to remember, okay, try to imagine, whenever user story 456 becomes 0, the default will move to completed. The status default will to completed. So with nothing but whenever completed is nothing but QA team can ensure that yes, we have done our testing part, right? So obvious, then it has to accept it. Who will accept the user story? Obvious, the user story owners will be the developers only, right? So obvious, developer needs to accept the user story. So QA team has to send the information saying that we have completed our user story. Could you please accept the user story? That's the information, right? That's a mail they need to communicate with the developers. That is nothing but they are demonstrating to the developers saying that we have done our work. QA team will send a mail to dev team to accept the user story. This is nothing but the fourth phase, demonstrations. Okay. To explain that one, I need to take an example and explain the things. Very good. So this is nothing but demonstrations. So let me keep this also in a here bracket. Okay, daily one answered, done. Okay, QA will send a mail to Kamal, right? Just Please excuse there are few spelling mistakes which can happen here. Okay. So the last one is okay. I forgot to mark here, right? Demos has been completed. The last one is retrospective meetings. Very good. See here, the fifth one, not the last one. Very important entry point of view. Retrospective meetings. What means retrospective meetings? So these will be done in day 10. Okay, the time taken for this to complete is nothing but 3 hours. They will take 3 hours. I will tell you why they have kept 3 hours. So one logical question. So how many sprint plannings we have in a sprint backlog? Obviously, we have only sprint planning. It starts on day 1. So how many daily stand-up calls we have? We have daily stand-up calls from day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7, day 8, day 9. Only 8. In day 10, we'll have a retrospective meeting, which means daily we have something like communicating with the customers only. In day 1, we'll communicating. We are going for day, sprint planning. In day 2 to day 9, we'll have daily stand-up calls, which show the status of the work. In day 10, which is nothing but whenever we complete our work, we need to give the important points what we have done in the sprint, right? Highlight points, reporting points. So those will be discussed here. So what are the things we discuss in retrospecting is nothing but things went well, things went well in sprint. Second one will be things doesn't went well. The last one is things that needs to be updated. So these are the things we generally discuss in retrospective meetings. So what is the agenda of going for retrospective is nothing but so whenever whenever I completed my work in day 9, day 10, right? So again, Scrum Master will schedule a call. It's a meeting, schedule a call because it is one of the role and responsibility of Scrum Master, right? So Scrum Master will schedule a call between the teams and try to discuss, okay, how you felt happy, or if you have any problems in the sprint, or if you need any updates or any changes, any modifications, any innovations we have done, you can done in this sprint or not. Something like you give the points to the entire team. So developer can give points like things went well points will be. So whenever we are doing the this, whenever we are implementing for the user stories, QA team is very have adequate knowledge to directly they have taken user story and they have checked the user story and completed it within the time intervals. So I am giving a few positive points. Generally, we discuss in the retrospective meetings. The second one will be the QA team will tell that, right? Developer has given enough information and he clarifies all the questions when we raise for the user story. Something like we can give, or else we can give like Scrum Master has taken enough time. He completed the every Scrum meetings, sprint planning and retrospective within the time interval. So I'm happy to feel that uh, this sprint well as per my expectation. Something like we can give the positive points what we felt happy whenever we doing the sprint one, a sprint. So things doesn't went well. So what are things we doesn't went well when we implementing for retrospective things can be something like developer sometimes I can give, right? So Scrum Master has taken 17 minutes to complete the sprint Scrum meetings in day 8, day 9, something like we need to give. So see here, we are not pinpointing everyone. Okay, we are not pinpointing to one to one. We are pinpointing to improve the process. I am not blaming any person. I'm not blaming any person. I'm just blaming to improve the process. That's it. So this is nothing but things doesn't went well. Or QA team can give, right? Developer is not given for the implementing for the sprint for the implementing for the user story 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So developer has not provided the correct information. So better to have communication between the developers and QA members in further sprints. Something like I'm giving negative points. This is nothing but which is going to be positive in next sprint. I'm not blaming any developer's name. I'm not taking any developer's name here. I'm not taking any personal names here. I'm only taking the user point of view, user stories point of view, why they have been not implemented as a correct process. So which nothing but which helps to encourage the sprint in better manner. Okay, things doesn't well will make sprint in moving in smoother manner in for further analysis part. So things that needs to be updated. The third thing is things that needs to be updated. Nothing but, so I'm a developer. I know Java very well. So many people are using .NET as a base language to implement their sprints. So I can give the team a suggestion that, so try to implement in Java so that it will have these type of positive feedbacks we can get, or the code will be very easy to understand and easy to write. Something that we can give the updates for changes. Okay, that's nothing but these are the three things we discussed in retrospective meetings. Things went well, what you make felt happy for while doing the sprint. The things doesn't went well, what you feel bad when you implement the sprint. Things that needs to be updated. If any want to update innovations we can do, we can give those ideas. Something like this type of information we generally discuss in retrospective meetings. So, and to complete the retrospective meetings, generally it will take 3 hours to complete. Within 3 hours, it has to be completed. Okay. So this is nothing but the agile process. Let me see if anything I can miss. Okay. Okay. Let me keep this in a again in a square box for differentiate purpose. Okay. Seems good for me. So this is nothing but agile. Okay. Thanks for your patient time to understand what my agile. Okay. That's it for the day. Thank you.